Hello, Platinum Gamers. PGN Studios bringing you a very kind of a new series, kind of something different. If you ever felt like you wanted to make a server, Minecraft server, but you didn't know exactly how to do it or what you should do, now one thing I'm going to say is all the links to every single thing I'm showing you is going to be in the description below, so that you guys can download this. Now I'm not going to show you every kind of plugin you're going to want, or yada yada yada. It's gonna be straight up just the essential stuff. Everything else you want afterwards, that stuff is gonna be mostly on you. It's gonna be your choice to getting it, what you want, and how you want it. So first off, is you're gonna want your jar for your type of server you're gonna want. I'm doing this based off Craftbukkit. It's a plugin server, and I believe you can use mods with it as well. I just have to make the folder, and it's something you just have to make the folder for. Sorry about that. So first off, what we're going to do is this, and the Craftbukkit GUI.exe, that will also be linked in the description for downloading that. It's a pretty simple plugin, so it allows you to run, it's not a plugin, it's a program that lets you basically run the server the way you want it. You can control stuff like RAM, your type, like it's going to be bucket, glowstone. I don't know what the glowstone actually is. Some of the stuff I don't know about, except like this, and bucket. Bucket's pretty simple. And then you get your issues, task manager plugins, editor, backup forwarder. This is basically your port forwarding, your settings, and the console itself. This is the console for the physical server itself, where you can type in commands on here to do stuff, and you can start and run the server. So this is linked already. Now, when you first get it, you're gonna have your Craftbukkit jar and this. I just want to put this in your same folder you're going to use for your server. This will make it significantly easier. I do have the URL text. I did accidentally start running the server immediately, but it's not going to be but it is going to be, so it sets so once we hit start, it's going to load everything. So what you're going to do is, first thing what you're going to do is this. When you launch this program, you can go to server type, make sure you put it on Bukkit. Go under Java, make sure you put it under your correct version of Java. Do not put it under 30-bit, otherwise you will never get past this. You can never go past the 1 gigabyte range. So make sure you're on a correct range of 64 gigabytes. So we're going to put this back to about 4. Doesn't really matter, that doesn't matter. It's going to give me a warning thing, but that's only because I went there and dropped it down, but that's not important. Then you can go to jar file. You're going to click this. You're going to go scroll down to where your file, or this your Craftbukkit.jar is in that folder. You're just going to click on that once and then hit open. That's going to now show it goes by this one. It's in this one. This is a 1.8 Craftbukkit.jar server, so it should be good. Or it's 1.7, but you can do both. And we're just going to hit start. Once it actually loads. Oh, there you go. Then actually click all the way. So now it's starting your server, loading libraries, piece away, then it's loading the processes. And now you're going to get a whole bunch of this stuff. Because now if you don't have the URL text already, and it's already set, doesn't set the true, it's going to have to make that. And then you're going to have to stop it, and then you have to put it going to there. The EULA.txt file, and change that from false to true. Save it, close it, and then rerun this, and it will load up your server. Now, if we were to, I'm gonna quickly load up Minecraft, and I'll show you basically a general sense of what to do. So, I'll be back in a second once we load up Minecraft. Alright, we are back. Now, this is the world we are in. We are logged into a 1.8 world, so as you can see, we have rabbits. Now, the spawn is actually a little bit over there, so we can change that. But first, we're going to go back to the GUI. Now, as you can see, it does show you in server manager on a player, so as you can see what players you have here. But you can also just go under players and it'll give a long list. So we're going to go over here. And we're just going to opt myself. It's simple. It's pretty easy to do. It's a simple right click to opt. Does it? You don't have to even type this. You can even do it here. Just the opt Spyro 2. And then just re-opt myself to that. You can even do that. And now, I shouldn't make that beep sound, but that's just Windows 10. It's kind of a thing for Windows 10. So we're going to go fly. I hit game mode 0. Actually, I have to go. Actually, type the word game mode. I'm at. Because I'm not using any permission plugins or anything like that, I have to actually go into type game mode 0. Or I could have just done game mode creative or whatever. It doesn't work. But so now we're gonna go back, of course. This is a weird kind of world because we have this, the floating island. This would be kind of a cool place to have like a little home kind of island. It's like on a floating island. I don't know why. This would actually, I'm just going to break this because this shouldn't really exist. And we're going to break this. There's actually a quicker way to do this, so we'll do that when I get up to come back on here. So, well, we'll be back once we get back onto the main. Okay, we are back. It's not really that much difficult. We could have actually just kept going. So we're going to now stop the server. There's a reason for this. Now we got a folder called plugins. We're also going to add the folder called mods. You have to actually add it manually. Actually, no, it's lowercase. And you're going to want that manually. You don't need to do this, but I have it there. Now, you're going to want some essential mod plugins. These are the plugins you're going to want no matter what. These are plugins that if you don't have, you're not. It's just so much easier to run these servers. So we're going to have the essentials set. So we got essentials.chat. But that's no place random. Essentials protect. Essentials anti-build. Regular essentials.jar. Essentials spawn. And we got essentials group manager. Now some people like permission X. I don't really care for it. It's not a difficult plugin to run, but I'm so used to group manager that I'd rather use group manager. It is your choice. I will link permission packs as well in the description below along with group manager, so you can choose whichever one you want. But my standpoint, group manager is 10 times easier to run. Now, one of the other things you're going to want is your world guard. This will allow you to run flags for stuff that you don't want happening on your server. Let's say I don't want, and I can make the flags for different areas. This prevents people with don't have permission. This is basically a way to make it so you don't have to use grief permission for grief prevention to protect stuff, protect certain areas. But it's a lot easier. But with World Guard, you will need the World Edit. Don't know why that went over. The World Edit jar plugin. These two work hand in hand with each other, and they allow it to work so that you can kind of region an area. Otherwise, if you want to make new regions, otherwise you don't, because everything's under a region __global __, or it's just one underscore after that, but it's one or two. Then you're gonna want. Now, I think world border is great. World border is if you really don't want, if you want just an open world 100%. You can do that. You don't need to have world border. But you can also extend world border. Like, let's say you're starting off your server fresh and beta. You want to have a world border of 5k from spawn. Basically, how you do it is dash world border create, and then you put in the amount. And it does like an amount from where you are. In kind of a square area. So it's 5k north, west, east, and south. Next thing you're going to want is, let me see. Now, if you're going to be building a lot of this stuff, you're going to want voxel sniper. It's very good for terrain, but you don't always need it. And you're going to want grief prevention. Now, grief prevention is important. There's a reason for this one. That's just the thing going over. Grief prevention allows people to claim land. It's great if you're building an SMP, creative, and stuff like that, where not creative, but SMP, survival kind of server. Basically stuff where you're letting people have homes where you don't want them being destroyed. It's a great plugin. It's a very easy plugin to use. Out of a lot of plugins, I don't think there's any other grief prevention plugin that I think is any better than this. If there is, I don't know about it. If there is, if someone would like to comment in the section below and tell me what it is, I can look into it and say and give a comparison. The next thing would be server signs. A lot of servers, I say a lot of people are going to be using these. These are, now you don't have to. You can use a lot of stuff with essentials, but server signs gives you a lot more usability of what you want to do. You can do stuff like custom stuff where you can go to certain areas, or like you have to use this to unlock stuff. It's pretty cool. You can do this for quests. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do. There's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with this, and you're gonna want it. Now, next couple stuff is Votifier, your clear lag. Now, these are major ones you're going to want. Clear lag will help out your server so much. It clears out a lot of the stuff like entities and dropped items on the ground that are just it shouldn't be there, and after a while, and it makes your server run a little bit better, especially if you're doing where you're getting a lot of people. That's going to help out so much. Then you got Votifier. Votifier is going to be big on your server. Now, it's not important to your build up to the server, but not in the beginning, but towards the end, you're going to want that. You're going to be wanting to set up vote sites to meet. You're going to want that as soon as you possibly can, because you're going to want people being able to see your server. Hey, look, they're getting tons of votes on this server. This server might be good. It must be good if we got tons of votes going in for this server. Now, one of the best things about Votifier, and I think everyone should allow servers to do, is when you have Votifier, give a reward for doing it. Like I know Arkham does these keys you get, and you can use them on chests to get rewards. That's a cool way to do it. That's one way that you can do it. Another way is you can give points so people who don't have money, let's say can't afford to donate, have the ability to earn points to donate for ranks and stuff like that. This allows people a free way to earn a rank, even a high rank. Then you're going to want your store plugin, kind of your plugin you need. I think you got either Engine, Multicraft, Minecraft plugin, or you're going to need the Minecraft jar plugin. Those are the main necessities in general sense of what you're going to need. And the last thing you're going to need, now I don't think you don't need color tags, but color tags is a pretty cool mod. I'm calling them mods now. But cool plugin in general. Then color tablets, I don't think you actually need that. I think I took it out because I have a different mod that does that, what I want. Let me see, this is the server I actually am working on right now. Let's see if I can find the one. I think there's a one in here, I just don't see where it is. So, you're going to want limited world edit, especially if you're doing only a few gigabytes of RAM. You're going to want to limit how much of it goes through at once so that it doesn't kick you out. That's definitely going to be a big thing. Oh yeah, sorry. You're also going to want tab API and tab to the max. Now, how this works is if you have a rank permission prefix to a rank, which it'll lock off your permission folder and the prefix in there, meaning that basically your rank will have and the tab will be there due to be based on your prefix, not the name of the rank, but the prefix. And now we're going to once again rerun the server. Now, it's going to start making folders here. You're going to start seeing them coming in. But it's loading up all the stuff from before. And boom. Now a lot of the stuff's coming in. All the folders. Now each one plugin will come with a folder. And this will allow you to do stuff like have the config and some other stuff. That's what you're going to want. This stuff is the stuff. I'm not going to talk to that. This is what you use to change with the settings and what you want. Now, you can kind of ignore this. It's not really important. Well, I mean, it is important, but it's not affecting you from being able to go on the server at the moment. So you can go back to multiplayer. Now you can see this is the server right here for this. It's 0 out of 20. That means no one's on, obviously, but there wouldn't be anyone. So we're gonna go and connect to the server, and we are back. Now this is stuff you see. I see central protectors in emergency mode. Check your logs for errors. Don't know why that's in there. That's saying that, but we do now have access to fly, even though we don't need that. Okay, we're gonna go back to game mode 0. I am lagging a little bit, so give me a minute on that. I'll figure out what the issue actually is. So I figured out why that was happening, and I forgot about one point thing, which I have in my other one. Everything was the same except for one major thing: the whoop if that YML. This was not in here. You actually have to get this. Now I will of course include that in the download section below, so that you guys can just have it all. Actually, in fact, I will keep a copy of this in the .yml, and I'll make a zip file and I'll just upload to a mega, and I will give you guys a copy of this complete, so that you guys can just go right at it. No real work needed. And it'll be straight up simple as that. You'll have everything, the basic stuff, plugins, the settings part. Now with engine, like when you look in here, it says engine.off key is invalid. Please generate a new one. That is because this server is this file is for a server I'm already running. I've already set up. I'm actually copying this into an actual host now, because I'm at the stage where I'm gonna be doing a lot of the big work that I need to not be running it on running the server on my computer itself. Now, why is it that I'm telling you how to do this versus saying, hey, why don't you just go get a server host and have it set up that way, and then just put the plugins there from there? There is a reason for this. It's simple because the fact is, you don't want to be paying for the server host. I think up one here. Wand. Now I'm just going to show you something cool here. This is the easiest way for me to remove this tree. But you don't want to be paying for what we call a hosting fee. Oh, sorry. I need to do it one more. Replace -- replace 0. That should automatically move everything in that area. I did miss a couple small things, but that's not a big deal. Oh, game mode 1. Put myself in creative so that we can actually just remove them. And we'll move that block. Now that tree does not look like it doesn't belong. But, like I said, it's a simple fact that you don't want to be doing a lot of your work paying for the host down there. Because a lot of stuff you really want to get done before you're doing this is your permission. You want to find out basically want to find out the plugins you're going to want to use. That's important. Once you've found everything, you want to get that all set up. You want to make sure everything works together so that there's no real major conflictions. Because you'll find out otherwise. But nothing conflicts with the plugins I'm using right now. These are basic plugins. Oops, sorry. Now, let me show you grief prevention. For example, currently it's on Spade. So if I hover over to thing, actually it should let me do that. It's weird. Oh yeah, I gotta actually add it. So I should actually have it without having to do anything. Once grief prevention's not in. Which is a possibility. I could have messed that up. Let's see. Stick. Be useful if I type the right name. Oh man. let's see. I think that's the Craftbukkit game, man. What's like? Alright. Sorry for that. We are back. So, I had a little issue with them, the part and the part of it. Well, you're going to see it as a one part, but there were some issues. They had to do some changes. So, I had to change the Craftbukkit to this, and this fixed a lot of the major issues. Like I said, I'm going to give you a whole folder and the whole thing, so you're going to have basically pretty much preset stuff. So you're not going to have to do anything, nothing major. Obviously beforehand I am going to completely remove I wasn't there. I'm going to remove the worlds. I'm going to plugins, remove myself from group manager, stuff like that, to make sure my username's not there. But actually I'm just going to delete this whole thing and leaving just the plugins. Because once you start the server, this will regenerate the new stuff for you. So it's not important. But clear lag is important for the sheer fact it's going to lessen the lag in your computer, lag running on the server, especially when you are trying to work on the server, setting it up before you actually put it onto a server to finish up the final touches. And even after that, having it on the server in general will help out with some lag and deal with some issues you're going to have. Color tags is just kind of like for cosmetic. It's kind of a cosmetic thing, but it's there so people can say, hey, they can see your people having ranks above their heads, so it's like not just a looking tab, they can see it by looking at them. Oh, look, this person's this rank. I know, hey, look, this person is a moderator or a helper or admin. I know exactly who that is, that rank, without having to go in tab to find out. Engine Minecraft plugin, that's just my version, my choice of my donation choice. You can do Minecraft as well. It's also a viable option. Both are good options to use. Use your choice, really. Then it's the essentials. These are important. You're going to want them no matter what. This stuff is just... It's very important to have these plugins because they're very easy to work with and a lot more. Don't know why it does that, but okay. So back to Essentials. Essential is your basic permission plugins. It's pretty simple stuff, like it makes game going to game mode easier if you need to. Because instead of typing -game mode space 1 or 2 0, you can just do gm1 space 1 -gm2 -gm0. It makes things simple. There's a lot of other commands that are just great for servers in general, and hence why it's called Essentials. And then you get your permission plugin. You got a choice of Group Manager or Permission Packs. Your choice in really in that one. I'm only going to provide Group Manager, but if you want Permission Pack, I will provide a link for that one in the description below. Then you got your grief prevention. This is a big thing if you're doing something where you're allowing players, if you're not making an adventure server, where people are going to be building stuff on their own, because you're going to want them to be able to protect their stuff, and that's going to be very important. Especially if you're going to allow combat outside of it, you're going to want to have a place for them to be able to feel safe. That's what grief prevention is for, and it's really helpful. Server signs, I think I've said some of this stuff already. Server signs is just good for, especially when you want to do, kind of quests, dungeons, or something like that, where you want a little extra, more fun part, make it a little bit extra detailed, or a challenge in some way, shape, or form. You can do a lot of stuff with server signs. It's pretty fun stuff you can do. You can do quests, and all that stuff. It's pretty good. Tab the API and tab to the max, just so you can, like I said, you can see your ranks in the tab. It goes by your permission folder permissions, and it's by your prefix. It's set in there. So that's how that works. Vault, you need this no matter what. If you're doing anything like with voting or economy. I think you need it for economy. You usually need a minimum for votifier and or donations. I believe sure it's with donations as well, but votifier definitely is a minimum. Votifier, of course, is what, like I said, is for voting. It verifies your vote. and it can be used to reward people on the server, I believe, if I remember correctly, or at least verifies it, and you can verify for voting on sites on your site itself. It's great for people because they want to promote your server without having to make videos on it. Plus, it rewards the player for voting, whether or not something in game or points on the site where they can use to buy ranks or stuff like that. It's great for people who don't really have that much money, because they're not paying physically for your server, paying to buy that rank, but they're paying by advertising it, basically, by voting. So in a sense, you're paying them to advertise your server just through voting. Voxel Sniper is great, especially great if you want to do for terrain building and stuff like that. You're going to want that. Will border is if you want to start, like when you start out, you're going to want to start off with a smaller border. You don't want to have like a giant border, but eventually you might expand that border out. Well, it's kind of like the point for like building and stuff like that when you don't, or if there's something you don't want on the server, you can just quickly erase that. World Guard is also great for flagging. It's you can do to some extent. You can do game rules, can do some of the work that World Guard can't, but World Guard is needed for a lot of the extra stuff that you just really don't want. So that's the general sense of the plugins. But config file really is not important here because you're not using any if you don't have any mods here. It's not important. Craftbukkit, you just want to use mods here for this. I added a mod plugin. This will basically, I believe, it should add mods to it. Now it does not want Forge mods. So if a mod requires Forge, you're gonna have to go. I believe it's gonna be. Gotta think of this one. I think you'll have to downgrade to 1.7 and go for a cauldron or something like that. Now, you can kind of just Google the cauldron and look where and try to find a copy of it. There usually is some around. I can probably provide a copy. I'll add it in here as well, so you can get both the libraries and the thing, and you can just use that instead if you want to do 1.7.10. Cauldron will be a Forge. It runs Bukkit and mods, so you can do any Forge mods as well. So a lot of people like using, especially when you're doing like pixel mod type stuff, because that requires you to have Forge. But for what I'm doing, like my type of server I'm doing, I don't need that. I just need this. I need a Bukkit, and I don't really need to use mods at all. So that's basically the general sense of that. But that's basically the end of this video. Like I said, it will be in this whole folder will be in the description below, and a link to the permission files. As I don't include that. I'm not going to include that in here because I would have to download it and then add it. I guess, actually, you know what? It might be easier just for me to download it. Actually, you know what? I'll just download it and give it to you guys. So, I'll see you guys then.